Elephantitis, a condition in which a limb or other part of the body becomes very enlarged due to obstruction of the lymphatic vessels, typically by a nematode parasite which causes filariasis. Hi y'all, welcome to the second ever Major Hunter Endeavors, featuring Supervive's poster boy, the big man on campus, the showstopper, the day ruiner, the Mets fan, Mr. Stretch Armstrong himself, Kingpin. Now, I'm pretty sure most of you know what makes KP so special, because you've seen someone get a great hook to win a fight, or you yourself have been whisked away from your family by the Kaiju secret police. Either way, you know what he's about, and you know why he's here, and if you think you can easily take him down, honey, you're gonna need a bigger ukulele. While Kingpin may be the stereotypical hook guy that a lot of top-down games like this have, he does not play like most others. Just because he is hook guy does not mean he is hook guy. You feel me? He's able to crump with the rest of them and able to provide peel to his team and assassinate targets at close range. A great frontliner, a great assassin, a great CC bot, a great tree, a man with a disease, KP does it all. Grab, shoot, slam, and dunk. The big man is coming to town, ready to intimidate the enemy into doing what he wants, saving allies from dire situations, and ruining the plans of his allies that just started. Or just to grab what's important to you. KP isn't only a master of isolating one target and deleting them from existence. A very dynamic and flexible boy, Kingpin fits into any team you put him in, either as a pick monster or a frontline bruiser that you think he looks like. Playing him is a true power fantasy of being that one bully that used to push you off the swing set and say, "Shoulda held on tighter," as he then starts swinging and he and his friends laugh at you while you're on the ground crying. Gonna do this a bit out of order. Kingpin's mobility is Brute Dash. Kingpin dashes forward and has a second further dash that he does in the air. That's it. Moving on. KP's passive is Feed the Beast. It has two components to it. Firstly, Kingpin gains stacking max health for each knock or assist he gets, losing half of it on death. Secondly, he deals 50% extra damage to hunters from behind. KP currently has the only infinitely stacking ability in the game. As you and your teammates cull the wheat, you gain health, making him one of the beefiest boys in the game. This, along with his higher than average toughness, the stat that decides health scaling on items, he becomes one of the tankiest motherfuckers in the game.
Why won't you die? Nanomachine, son!
For the other half, you just want to get behind the enemy to deal the most damage. KP ain't the good guy, so hitting enemies from behind is no big moral issue. His multiple dashes, long stun, and beefiness really help him to get into a position behind the enemy to give them 1,000 years of death. Kingpin's primary fire is Buckshot. Kingpin fires a group of slugs that loses accuracy the longer it is continuously fired. The first shot after not shooting for a bit is one large cluster and has increased range. Kneecap some fools. Kingpin's shotgun, actually, it isn't a shotgun because it... Shut up. Kingpin's shotgun is one of, if not the most unique primary fires of the game, having different properties the longer it is fired. And though the range leaves a little bit to be desired, its damage is no joke. The big thing that comes from playing with it after a while is learning how to pace out your shots to keep consistent DPS. Using his other abilities between your shots can do a lot to increase your consistency. Using his ult or slam after shooting can buy you a lot of time to get another empowered shot in. That's not to say that you always want to do that though. Sometimes it's best to put your dick in their pocket and keep shooting until they're dead. And sometimes it's best to wait to ensure your shots are hitting their target. Kingpin's secondary is Kaiju Grasp. Kingpin extends his disease-ridden arm forward, grabbing the first target in its path, pulling them back. It can grab enemies, grab allies, go through walls, and can grab wisps along its path. If you land the grab, its cooldown is lowered for the next hook. Enemies hooked are also grounded for a very short time. Like a certain man whose family was murdered in cold blood, Kingpin really wants you to come over to him. While at first glance his hook may seem like quite a simple ability, there's a lot of nuance behind it. First, it should be noted, it's very slow, so you have to be smart about when you use it. When you start the ability, there is a small windup, and the projectile doesn't actually start until the windup is finished. This means you can readjust your location, the angle in which your arm is going, and the distance it is traveling before the hand even goes out. The inverse is also true. After your hand leaves your body, which is a weird fucking sentence in any context, it will go to its location and cannot be altered. Once it grabs its target, it will always pull them back to KP, meaning you can dash after you grab to pull them further than they are expecting, get teleported to a different location, or pull them over the abyss to truly rapture them. Also, don't forget, you can grab your allies. You can use this to save your dumb, stupid poo-poo head teammates when they get caught out, or, just ruin their engagements. Sorry, safe locked. But where this becomes really interesting is how it interacts with other specific hunters. Mostly just Celeste. If you have a teammate you're communicating with, or are able to time it, you can pull your ally Celeste as they are ulting to partake in some on-demand Ice Age, starring Ray Romano and John Leguizamo. It can also be used to hook creeps over the abyss if you're just totally not feeling like doing any work or whatever. It can also be good to hold your hook until later in the fight, because, let's face it, we all suck. You know it, I know it, everyone knows it. None of us are going to hit every long-range hook and get every pick, but your enemies also suck, so you can wait for them to fuck up later in a fight and punish them, or use it to keep them close when they are trying to run away. Remember, just like in Risk of Rain 2, you are not the good guy. Play like the villain.
Clear. Enemy spotted.
Oh, you going?
I fucking died though. Oh, I almost forgot. Since the hook does no damage, you can use it to kill people on the baby heart and Kobayashi's. It doesn't give you any credit for the kill, but the emotional damage it does to your enemies more than makes up for this fact. It's ironic that the character named Kingpin has arguably the easiest time avoiding the law in the market. Wait a minute. Man, that's a lot of yapping for one ability. But you do gotta remember, it's not all about the hook, Spider-Man. Kingpin's special is Iron Smash. KP slams down his fist, dealing a decent amount of damage, stunning for a significant amount of time, and dunking enemies. While most would initially think that KP's most impactful ability is his hook, I would argue that his stun is more critical to his kit. Because while a good hook can completely win a fight and turn any engagement to your advantage, you ain't gonna get shit done if you can't hit your stun. Similar to his hook, KP's stun has a windup, and you can use your dash or any other movement power during this windup, so learning how to do a moving slam is pretty important. It can also be cast in the air, so if you were able to get a jump pad, you can get some pretty good from downtown slams from the top rope. There's also the vanilla combo of hitting a slam after a hook, but do be warned, the duration of the ground is slightly shorter than the windup of the slam, so you may need to dash to react to your enemy after you hook them to ensure a stun. But that ain't hype. That ain't all that cool. Oh boy, I stunned a guy. Cool. No. Forget all that. The thing that makes a slam so hype is the dunking. If you manage to hit someone over the abyss, they'll be cast down to the hell that awaits them below. The hell called Escape from Tarkov Unheard Edition. And it will feel amazing. So come on and slam. And welcome to the jam. KP is arguably the best feeling dunk in the game, and once you start to figure out the movements needed to get said dunk, you'll experience a feeling comparable only to hearing Once in a Lifetime for the first time. Same as it ever was. Kingpin's ult is Kaiju Blast. That may be the most anime sounding After a short delay, Kingpin fires 6 super shots in a fan. After another short delay, he fires another 6 shots. These shots apply anti-heal for a short duration. Have you ever wanted to use a game-winning, fight-altering, tide-turning ult that completely dominates every fight it's used in? This ain't it. KP's ult is more of an extra damage tool, a threat to buy space, and a way to apply anti-heal. That isn't to say it is bad. The damage is really nice, and the threat it provides is extremely good at keeping the enemies back. Yeah! But it's a bit situational. It's a fairly short range and a long windup, meaning that it can be cancelled if you aren't safe with it. That windup can be circumvented a little bit. Like his other abilities, you can dash while charging it, so you can go for some drive-by ults. And the anti-healing is a really nice icing on the metaphorical cake. Now, you may think, oh, I'll just use my ult after my stun to guarantee a hit. No, dummy. I'm the guy in the video. Stop trying to be smart. Your stun doesn't guarantee an ult shot after it hit it. At least on the early levels of the stun, it's a little too long. Also, your ult's timing always guarantees that your next primary shot will be empowered, which makes it really good to finish people off that survive your ult. But what else is there? Well, now that you know his kit, I think I need to actually tell you about some enemies that you may have to deal with. Unlike Bishop, who doesn't really have any super specific Hunter matchup stuff, Kingpin has 2 I want to mention. Oath and Celeste. I'll start with Oath. See, Big Robo-Boy's shield can effectively ruin KP's game plan, both long-range hooks and slams. Like a coward, Oath's shield blocks every hook you throw at him, so you gotta be a sneaky little snake and go around to grab them from an angle. On top of that, Oath's empowered shield counters slam and will stun you, so you can't just body every Oath you see. Now, Celeste is the one that can be more make or break. There are really just two things. Celeste's wall blocks KP hook, which means you have to be smart about when you're throwing your hook. The more important one is to know how KP works with Celeste's ult. See, Celeste can either ult as soon as she is hooked or as soon as she arrives, meaning you just brought an ulting Celeste closer to your team. Nice going. That being said, there is a way to punish a Celeste that ults. If you wait right before her ult ends, around the time you hear the ice crack, you can hook her at max range or behind a wall, and she will finish her ult before she gets to you, so you don't get hit. That doesn't mean you can't kill your teammates in this process, but oh well. If you're wondering about optimal builds for KP, well, as I said in the Bishop video, but for Kingpin. That being said, I do want to mention some powers that are good to pick up on him. A few quick ones. He does very good with grappling hook, flying in at high octane stuns and keeping CC chains going. Bungee gum
contains the properties of both rubber and gum.
And Sandwall does a great job at protecting him as he goes in.
I love the whole sand wall trick. It was beautiful. Bastard.
There are two specific powers I really want to mention because of how fun they are. The first one being Tree Suit. See, when I first saw it, I thought it was just going to be another ghillie suit. But for some reason, the Tree Suit just messes with enemies' heads because they don't ever expect to look for a fake tree and they end up getting stumped. The arboreous labor that goes into these plays is berry sap, and it's always funny to see them out into their conclusion. Just look at this. And this. Hi, Luke. And this one. Wait. Why did that work? I was moving. Wait, again, I mean, I died, but it's still... How did that surprise them? I was a moving tree. What the fuck? The other power that is the most fun with Kingpin, the one that really brings his kit to the peak that it can truly be, and the highest of game design in Supervive. That's right. Everyone's favorite. Anyone who says otherwise is lying or has terrible taste. You know it. You love it. It... Tree Spy! Wait, where's the gameplay? What do you mean it was removed? Why'd they get rid of Tree Spy? Who do I have to talk to? Turns out, Tree Spy was removed from the game this test, and I don't know if I can... And that's Kingpin, Mr. Big Long Hand Man, fighting with all the power that comes from having elephantitis. His control of the battlefield is almost unmatched. Just don't be the guy who only plays for hooks, because if that's all you will be, you'll be a waste of time. Using his entire kit to the fullest potential can lead to some really sick plays and really fun, prolonged fights. So get some dunks, get some nasty hooks, get some crazy kills, and never forget who we lost this patch and what they meant to us. Next time, we'll be talking about a demon.
Where? There. What, behind the rabbit? It is the rabbit. You silly sod! What?